I was in the United States in 1991, 21 years old. I just graduated as a New Zealand registered nurse. That was the year and the time that the United States went to war with Iraq and launched Operation Desert Storm. I thought to myself then, wow, I'm in a country at war and I have to get back to New Zealand. And we're dealing with terrorists who love to hijack planes, especially in those days. But it was a strange feeling knowing that I was 9,000 miles away from home. It's about 14,000 Ks. And in a country at war. I went to church at a special church that I love very much called South Lakewood in Oklahoma. And a very dear brother and friend who became a very dear special man of God and probably one of the most greatest encouragers of New Zealand works in the history of our church's record, and one of the greatest encouragers personally for me as a man of God, a real Barnabas. And he was preaching that day, and I still remember the title of his message. The Lord has his way in the whirlwind and the storm, taken directly out of Nahum chapter 1 verse 3. The Lord has his way in the whirlwind, that's a tornado, a twister, and the storm. Are you going through a storm in your life right now? Are you in the midst of a whirlwind, a twister, a tornado, that you feel like everything in your life is being ripped to pieces and torn apart? Sometimes when we feel like everything is falling apart, God is actually bringing things together. I know that right now in my life because we are in the middle of a bit of a ministry storm at the moment, a bit of a whirlwind as we seek and pursue the will of God. We have been in this position for some time now, probably over a good year or so, when we came to the conclusion and understanding that we've finished our New Zealand mission assignment here, that God has a new assignment for us, and we've been seeking God's will in that, to see where he leads us, in good faith and good conscience towards God. And he's leading us. He's opening doors, he's closing doors, but we're not there yet. But we have the peace of God in our heart about it. And we are willing and ready to count the costs. Paul said that I've counted all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Christ, that he may win Christ. As the book of Philippians, chapter 3. If you're not willing to lose everything for Christ, has he really got everything from you? Now, God may not take everything from you. He may not need to strip you down to nothing in terms of this world, but he might. He did so with the Apostle Paul. He said, I've lost all things and count them but dung, that I might win Christ. He said, I'd suffer the loss of all things. John the Baptist roamed around in the wilderness in animal skins, eating locusts and honey. We can read after Jeremiah, Job, a number of the Old Testament prophets. We can read Hebrews chapter 11. The great chapter of faith. And we read of people wandering around the wilderness, living in caves. Did God abandon them or forsake them? No, he didn't. Like the country music singer, I can't remember his name, I can see his face, but the one who wrote the song, if I have Jesus, man, I got it all. That's how I feel. That's how my wife and I feel. So I don't know what whirlwind or storm that you're going through at the moment, but let me say this. If you know Jesus Christ as your Savior, and you are sincerely seeking by His grace and mercy, His will, and to love Him, you've got it all. Jesus said in Hebrews 13:5, He said, free your life of covetousness. And covetousness is basically an old word that refers to materialism. Free your life from the love of things and the need of things. For He has said, Jesus, the Lord, I will never leave you nor forsake you. Folks, this old world and even the devil can take a lot of things from you, right? It can take your job. It can take your car. It can take your house. It can take your health. It can take your freedom. It can take your rights. And tragically and painfully at times, it can even take your loved ones. But let me tell you one thing. That this world, the devil, and nothing in it, let me tell you one thing, it cannot take Jesus. The world cannot take Jesus. And if Jesus, your relationship with Him, your love for Him, if that has become the authentic treasure of your life, then folks, the world can take everything else away from you, but it can't take Jesus. If Jesus has become your joy and treasure, for Jesus said, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. If Jesus is truly your source of joy, your source of peace, if Jesus is your source of fulfillment and wholeness, then you're in good shape. You're on solid ground. Though the earth be removed and the mountains be thrown into the midst of the sea, we shall not fear. Be still and know that I am God. That's out of Psalms 46, verse 1 and 10. So where's your life right now? Are you in a whirlwind and a storm? Well, if you know Jesus and you've got Him because you've received Him as your Savior, then He's got you good. No one and nothing can pluck you out of His hands, and He will never leave you or forsake you. You're in good shape. Just lock on, stay focused, keep close to the Lord, for He has His way in the whirlwind and the storm. When everything's flying apart and flying to pieces, it seems around you, the truth of God's faithfulness and His faithful character, the truth that God works all things together for good to those who love Him and are called according to His purpose, rings true, and nothing in life or death, present, past, no created thing can alter and change the promises of God, nor the faithfulness of the one who said it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Be encouraged. You are loved more than you will ever know this side of eternity. Keep locked on Jesus, and this storm, this whirlwind, it will come to pass. God bless you. Love you. Bye.